Innovation is a term that's everywhere you look today. It's been used to describe new technology, business practices, fashion, architecture, cuisine, and of course, education. Karen Smith, in her 2011 article titled Cultivating Innovative Learning and Teaching Cultures, notes that within the field of education, there is often a call for practitioners to develop innovative teaching and learning strategies. So what is innovation, and why is it so important to the field of education? The definition of innovation has been the subject of a great deal of debate within the field of education. It is often closely linked with the idea of change, but the form of change that innovation represents varies depending upon the user's intents. Perhaps the best way to understand what innovation is within the field of education is to develop a criteria that informs how we produce and implement innovative curricula. A month ago, I took part in an online discussion group that collaboratively developed a criteria for innovative curriculum planning. It was decided that innovative curriculum planning is a purposeful, positive, and often creative response to current teaching and learning, designed to improve the learning experiences of students and educators. Innovative curriculum planning takes action in response to the needs of the learners. It strengthens the connections between students themselves, others, and the world, and between the classroom and the community. Innovative curriculum planning meaningfully extends current planning practices, makes previously unseen or underutilized connections between curriculum approaches, or develops something new and original to the context. It results in significant and positive change. While I feel that most educators would agree that following a set of criteria, such as the one we outlined, would benefit their students, I feel that they might not understand why innovative curriculum planning is so important. Students seem to be learning within our current educational designs. Why do we need to develop new approaches to educating learners? The most popular and widely used curriculum designs in place today are still quite teacher-centric. They place a great deal of value on the acquisition of knowledge alone, and often focus on preparing students for standardized assessments. These designs fail to offer students opportunities to develop the skills that are necessary for success within a rapidly evolving occupational landscape. The ability to develop original ideas which have value is becoming increasingly important as our society is becoming progressively more complex and interconnected. Our web-centric society challenges students to interact with one another as global citizens and test their ability to examine content critically. Creative thinking is necessary to meet these challenges. Much of the curriculum in place today isn't offering students enough opportunities to develop the essential skills that they will need in the future. Students cannot afford to continuously repeat recognizable patterns, as increased globalization and economic challenges demand that they have the skills necessary to successfully operate within ill-defined domains. Learners must be prepared to engage in independent research in order to understand ill-defined problems they might encounter and make creative breakthroughs to address the challenges that they will face in the future. So where do we start? The good news is that it's getting easier than ever now to learn about innovative approaches to curriculum planning. A simple Google search reveals hundreds of websites, articles, and resources offering teachers examples of innovative curriculum design. Many of these designs are growing in popularity. I recently chose to introduce a curricular design to my students that integrates elements from several different innovative frameworks. Primarily, it's based around blending an inquiry-based learning design with a flipped learning approach. I've chosen this design for a few reasons. I found that my students demonstrate a high level of engagement when they find the content of the lesson interesting. But I've been looking for a way to develop their interest in the process of learning itself. David Orr, in his article, What is Education For?, suggests that the way that learning occurs is just as important as the content that the learners are studying. An approach that gives students the independence to direct their own learning experience helps them to tap into their own tacit curiosity and might keep them more engaged in the learning process. In an inquiry-based design, teachers don't just present the facts to their students. They use questions and problems to help students learn independently through their own investigation. The role of the teacher is closer to being a facilitator of knowledge than a provider of knowledge. Research has shown that students working within an inquiry-based learning framework demonstrate significant improvements in the areas of creativity, attitude, and independence. In a flipped learning approach, the majority of knowledge acquisition occurs at home. Learners watch videos to develop their understanding of class material. Class time allows students to collaborate with their peers to evaluate their personal findings and conclusion. Research suggests that an active learning environment increases students' learning and achievement. In my design, students are presented with a problem or question and work collaboratively in small groups to develop creative outputs that attempt to address the problem or scenario that they have been presented with. Students conduct research online at home by observing a series of online videos. During class, students have the opportunity to combine, compare, and analyze their research findings within their small groups. As a group, they create an output which presents their findings and conclusions for their peers. After each group's presentation, peers are encouraged to ask the group questions and offer feedback. It is my hope that class time will become a more engaging and active learning experience that enables students to develop critical thinking skills. I also hope that it will help improve their ability to work collaboratively and effectively communicate their findings and conclusions to their peers. I think that it is important to note that my curricular design was not meant to completely overhaul the existing curricular framework at my school. I don't think my school's administration would have been very happy with that. I attempted to design an approach that could be easily integrated into my school's existing curricular framework. I have a responsibility to adhere to the requirements of the curricular framework I work within, but I can still use elements from inquiry-based learning design and a flipped learning approach to offer my students a wholly different approach to studying the material that our school's curriculum requires them to learn. Oftentimes, the educational frameworks already in place make it difficult for teachers to imagine how they could engage in innovative curriculum design. Allowing teachers the freedom to exercise innovative practices is an important aspect of teaching. I believe that many teachers are excited by the growing popularity of innovative curriculum approaches, but struggle to visualize how these approaches could be used within their own professional context. While we might find it challenging, we need to be proactive in the development and implementation of innovative curriculum designs. We have the ability to plan innovative curriculum that transcends the barriers of the educational systems in which we operate. I believe that we have a responsibility to engage in innovative curriculum planning within our professional context. If we don't, not only do we risk becoming complacent with mediocre educational designs, we risk wasting the valuable opportunity that we have been given to enable students to succeed in the future. Thank you for listening.